All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily, where we post daily Houston Rockets content. If you guys enjoy this video, enjoy Rockets content, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. We have a video here today focused around Wendell Carter Jr. Now, in this trade, I don't have an actual trade hypothetical here. Wendell is one of my boys. You see the Chicago flag here. I'm a big Bulls fan, and I was always big on Wendell. I just knew if the Bulls wanted a chance to win with Zach LaVine, he would have had to not be on the roster anymore. They just were too young. They had too many in-between guys kind of in the middle of, are these young guys going to break out or are they going to decline? They had just a bunch of just solid players but no stars. So Chicago goes ahead, ships him off to Orlando in return for Nikola Vucevic. Now, Orlando's a really interesting basketball team. I think they'll be very good very soon. My issue is it's not going to be easy to pull Wendell from them. I mean, you'd have to give up Christian Wood. You'd have to give up Christian Wood and probably maybe even a guy like Jae'Sean Tate. I don't want to get too much in the actual trade package because, like I said, I don't have an actual hypothetical trade for you guys, but it gets me to my overarching scheme or theme where Houston needs a center. I mean, we just need a center. My thing with Christian Wood is this: I feel like he can be a super solid third option on a championship team. Will it be in Houston? Honestly, probably not. And the sole reason of that being is just time frame. We have KPJ, Jalen Green, Jae'Sean Tate, Josh Christopher, Sengun. We have a lot of young basketball players, and we're going to have a top 5 pick in this year's draft, and we have pick number 17. So, you're currently in that weird phase where you're just waiting on the development and progression of your young cats. And so, Christian Wood being 27 years old, entering his prime right here, put up, about 18 and 10 last season, 21 and 11. 2 seasons ago, I think it was 20 and 11. 2 seasons ago, he's been phenomenal as a Houston Rocket. The issue, he doesn't play defense. He just doesn't play defense. And so, ideally for me, I want Christian Wood on my basketball team. I want to pay him about, somewhere between $16 to $20 million a season for, 3 to 4 years, something of sorts. Because I know he can score, and I know he has a phenomenal work ethic. Keep in mind, this guy was not drafted. He's been on 5-6 different NBA teams in his career, and he's gone through thick and thin, and he's come out on the positive side. So I know Christian Wood can ball his ass off. I know he is talented, and he can score the ball. He doesn't play defense. And so, like I said, ideally what would be nice is if Houston, imagine Houston goes out and signs DeAndre Ayton. If Houston was some way, somehow, then cap-wise, they're not going to be able to unless they do some shit. Let's say right now Houston signed DeAndre Ayton. The Christian Wood trade narrative would be over. It would literally be over. And that's what I try and nail into people's heads here is this. Christian Wood came to Houston to play with James Harden and win a championship. Still in Houston. If you can re-sign a player, a big man, who is going 18 and 10, on a down season, you want him on your team. Christian Wood is the undisputed best player on the Houston Rockets. How long will it last? Probably however long he's in Houston until, Jalen's going to need a couple of years to get to Christian Wood's offensive dominance or consistency. Maybe a year or two if you want to be a little bit optimistic. But essentially, Christian's the best offensive scorer on our squad right now. Most efficient. He can do it all. Except shoot fucking free throws. But I tell you this, if the Rockets got DeAndre Ayton, or the Rockets traded for Cat, or the Rockets traded for Miles Turner, the Rockets signed Mitchell Robinson, if they had a center, a 7-foot center on this team, you would not hear trade Christian Wood. Because you already have your big body in the paint. Obviously, Christian Wood has been improving year after year after year. It's 2 straight seasons of improving on the defensive end. So by the time he's done progressing defensively, he's going to be average and he is not going to be a liability. Last season, there were times at the start where he was kind of a liability. You'd have random-ass dudes drop 30 and 10 on us whenever you would play Christian Wood. That's not going to happen for much longer. And if you had a guy like DeAndre Ayton, that would not happen. So, Maybe you sign a big man. Maybe you sign Mitchell Robinson in the offseason. Maybe you run it again with Christian Wood, and then your big three would be, KPJ, Jalen Green, Christian Wood, long-term Christian Wood, Jalen Green, and whoever they top draft this season. Like, there's still potential for Christian Wood. So I see all these trades, and I see so many of these trades, and I'm like, holy shit, like, like, what are these? Like, they're just terrible. Christian Wood is in his prime. He's on one of the most team-friendly contracts in the league. There's no rush to trade him right now. Christian Wood could not play a game from right now until the trade deadline, and you would still get value for him. There is always going to be a need for a stretch big who can put up just about 20 points per game on $13 million a year. There will always be a market for that. I don't understand this narrative of pushing him out right now. So Wendell, because this video is about Wendell. Basically, Wendell's one of those guys where if the Rockets were able to flip Christian Wood for Wendell, I would do it in a heartbeat. Wendell's 22 years old, pretty much 23 years old. This past season was where he really kind of broke out. He had a solid rookie, sophomore, junior year, 2.5 years with Chicago, goes to Orlando for about 22 games at, not this past season, but the year before that's trade deadline, drops 11.7 per game, 8.8 rebounds, some defensive stats in there, shot 24% from downtown. You can tell he's like trending in the right direction. They, still have some big bodies down there, and you had a feeling he was probably going to get the keys in the next season. And this past season is where you did see that happen. He's really broke out this year. I would value him as one of the most underrated big mans in the entire league because he can play defense. He can protect the paint. He's not the best rim protector, but his presence makes him very much adequate at the worst. So this past season, 15 points per game, 10.5 rebounds. Keep in mind, there's not many starters in the NBA at the big man position who just casually throw up average double-doubles, and that's why another reason why I'm so big on not trading Christian Wood is because there's few and far between in demand of those guys. Like, there's not many of them. So 15 points, 10.5 rebounds, gave you 3 assists, saw an increase in assists. Solid passer, underrated passer, if I might add myself. Shot about 70% from the free throw line, took 11 shots per game for a 53% clip from the field. Phenomenal and efficient. And then this is one of my low-key things, is three-pointer wise. He had never up to that point in his career taken more than 1 3 per game. That year, this past season, he took 3.5, made 1.1 for a 33% clip. So he has been improving because he came into his rookie season shooting 19% from downtown on just 0.7 attempts per game. So he'll take threes. He's not afraid of taking threes at any point in his career, but he's taking them more now, and he's making them at a better clip now. Kind of getting to Julius, not fully Julius Randle level, but he's 22 years old. Like, there's a lot of potential here. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section on Wood, on Wendell. Let me know what you think, and hit that like button, hit that sub button, because I got a fun-ass off-season planned for content, and we'll probably be heading into some draft videos for this next week here. Peace.